Part of the reason I'm telling you this is because I want to explain where we are with the American Empire. The American Empire is something that we probably didn't even accept as a reality up until probably about the Second World War. But let's skip back a couple billion years ago to these one-celled animals. Well, get into these one-celled animals. And eventually you had things... life tends to become more intricate and things build on top of one another. Just like atoms went from being very simple to being more complex. There's a simple building structure that gets these atoms to much more complicated atoms. And once you get all these complicated atoms, they're not complicated, they're just, what would you say, they're more extensive, they're better adapted to making more things. And like life forms were getting to a point beyond rock. And when it comes down to it, we actually were once rock. And from this molten rock, these bacteria eventually evolved, because that's what life tends to do, into more complex beings, still very far away from us, but a long way away from nothing. Suddenly there was almost like a will inside of this Wesen, this thing that was, and it kept filling out niches what the world would offer it. And suddenly there was a place where life could be, and as soon as you get a place where life can be, more than likely you're going to have life being. So Earth is obviously one of those places, and after we got our one-celled creature floating around, swimming around, looking for things to consume in the ocean, then there was other creatures looking to consume other things, and mutating is what we do, what life forms do in the unknown search to find other ways of being, to better survive this somewhat hostile yet very beautiful place to be. And we'll skip along to jellyfish and whatnot. We got them, I don't know how many billions of years it took, but eventually we got creatures with backbones, and that wasn't so long ago. And very recently these creatures started jumping up out of the ocean, not because they understood what was going on, just because there was a Nietzsche there. No, not a Nietzsche. Nietzsche was a guy that was writing philosophy. There was a niche. What do you call that? Is that the same in English? Anyway, we'll skip right along to the shrew-like animal that we were eventually becoming. There were snakes and rats and lizards and that kind of thing, and we were sort of the rat thing. And the lizards were big and monstrous, like the dinosaurs and whatnot. That kind of stuff you can read up on the internet. I'm not going to explain it all here. The point is, eventually we get to apes running around somewhere in Africa who suddenly started becoming more aware of themselves. And not only were they more aware of themselves, they were aware that they were somewhere, that somewhere was in the middle of something bigger, and it was apparent that there could be something out there that's maybe even dangerous. And so we started putting the names of gods to everything, and that probably started just about the same time we got conscious. And so there would be a god for every element and every tree and every animal, and we had a justification for the way the world was treating us. But we also understood that if we were going to survive in it, we'd have to do what we had to do and fight how we had to fight and catch whatever animals we had to catch to eat, and pick whatever berries there were and dig whatever roots there were. And eventually we came across this fire thing, and this fire thing of course changed things a little bit for us and made a few other things inevitable, such as, well, civilization. Civilization, that is about the newest thing in history, And if you look at it from the point of view of how long life has been around on Earth, it was a couple of seconds ago. It was probably in real time 6 or 12,000 years ago when we finally decided, or it became available to us, to stay in one place, plant our grains, our grasses, our wheats, and hold a few animals.